Welcome to the D-Dam Mix channel. We invite you to watch our new story. To stay up to date with new stories, subscribe to our channel. I'd always been an ordinary woman with ordinary needs. Nothing extravagant. I wanted to work, have a few hobbies, maybe travel a bit, and one day build a family. I didn't equate life with grand happiness, I simply lived it and appreciated what I had. Until I met Dylan. My friends used to talk about him like he'd stepped straight out of a luxury shower gel commercial. He supports everyone, no matter what. His suits are always spotless. And he never forgets to open the door for a lady. Never. I used to smile politely, not quite believing men like that existed outside rom-coms. But the first time Dylan took my hand in his, I got it. Dylan made my life feel cinematic. Almost too good to be true. I found myself blooming next to him, dreaming bigger, smiling more. I even started cooking with joy. We moved in together pretty quickly, and strangely, domestic life didn't ruin the magic. If anything, it strengthened it. The toothbrush next to mine and the grocery runs were small rituals that made me fall harder. Everything felt easy. The perfection of it didn't scare me. It reminded me how simple love could be when two people were honest. That evening, we were having dinner at our favorite trattoria. But Dylan seemed different. Fidgety. You okay? I asked, smiling softly when we finally went outside. He nodded and suddenly, he knelt. In the middle of the street. With a proposal ring in a tiny box. I knew it from the moment you said pesto was overrated, he began. That's when I realized. I want to wake up next to you, even on the days you're mad at me for forgetting to bring home oat milk. You're my heart. Will you be my wife? Something in my chest melted completely. Yes. Of course, yes. He slipped the ring onto my finger. The tables around us erupted in applause. It was perfect. Right up until the following day, when Dylan said, I think it's time you meet my mom. You're going to adore her. And that's when I felt the tiniest tremor in our fairy tale. The kind that makes you wonder if the perfect story is about to take a turn. We didn't wait long to plan the trip. Dylan was too excited to tell his mom the news. So the very next morning, it was Saturday, we packed an overnight bag and hit the road to his parents' place in the countryside. Dylan hummed along to some 80s playlist as he drove, while I tried to decide if I was overdressed. Just wait till you try her lemon tart. Mom's a legend in the kitchen. And she's so excited to meet you. I laughed, nervously. Sounds charming. She's amazing. You'll see. In half an hour, the front door flew open before we even knocked. Elin, a sing-song voice echoed, and there she was. Elin. The woman wore head-to-toe baby pink, a satin blouse with about the size of a toddler and matching trousers. And you must be the darling girl, she squealed, pulling me into a hug. Elin smelled of roses and baby powder. I sneezed quietly into her shoulder. As soon as she inhaled the soft trail of my perfume, she gave a tiny cough. Oh my, she said with a polite little wince. Is that, Jasmine? I nodded, already regretting it. Lovely, if one can tolerate it. Tee-hee. Great. 2 seconds into our first hug and we already have a mutual allergy to each other's taste in perfume. Coincidence? Unlikely. Look at those cheeks. You are real. Elin giggled, giving Dylan's arm a little slap. She's prettier than your last girlfriend. Mom. Dylan chuckled, clearly charmed. We walked through the garden toward the house, and for a moment I let myself admire the rose bushes until my eyes landed on something unexpected. A small bronze statue, oddly placed between two ceramic bunnies. Elin noticed. Of course, she did. That's my little Cupid, she said proudly. The poor thing had a chipped wing, a dented face, and an overall expression. I found it in a darling little antique shop upstate, she went on. Of course, it arrived scratched. But he has character. Her voice wavered just enough to give her away. She adored the odd little creature. We walked in. The house was a shrine to florals. Floral curtains, floral sofa cushions, even a porcelain tissue box shaped like a bouquet. Over tea, served in rose-patterned cups, naturally, Elon asked me questions so sweetly I almost didn't notice the blades hiding behind them. So, do you actually work, or is it more of a hobby? Well, I have a full-time job in marketing, I said, trying to smile. She's really talented, Dylan cut in proudly. Each time, she ended with a sharp little laugh, like a kitten pawing you after unsheathing its claws. Tee-hee. Dylan, bless him, looked enchanted. Isn't she just the cutest? He whispered to me later. She's always been so warm. Warm. Like a scented candle right before it gives you a headache. After dinner, Dylan stepped out to the garage with his father to check on some old stereo system. Elin and I were left alone. She stood. Smoothed her pink blouse. Now that it's just us girls. I think it's time we had a little honest talk, don't you? I froze, my spoon halfway to the creme brulee. You're going to marry my son. So it's only fair that I tell you exactly what's expected of you as a future perfect daughter-in-law. She reached into a drawer and pulled out a pink sheet of paper with little roses printed along the edges. These are just a few small expectations, she said sweetly. I find it helps if we're all on the same page. She placed it in front of me. Across the top, in pink script, I read, 10 rules for the ideal future daughter-in-law. At that moment I realized, I might be holding the contract to my horror movie. It was Sunday afternoon. My friends and I were curled up on the couch in my apartment with 2 open pizza boxes and 3 untouched oat milk lattes that had gone cold ages ago. I didn't need caffeine. I had rage. Start from the beginning, Emma said. I want to picture the whole pastel nightmare. I took a breath and stared into the middle distance, letting the horror replay. Okay. So we get there, and she's dressed like a life-sized cupcake. Baby pink from head to toe. She hugs me, coughs at my jasmine perfume, and... Sasha snorted. I knew it. I knew she'd be a tee-hee monster. And the house? Floral vomit. Everywhere. The tissue box had roses. Emma leaned in. Did she bring out the list immediately? I held up a finger. Not yet. First, she asked if I actually work or if it's just, a hobby. No. Sasha gasped. She did not. Oh, she did. And then, I continued, voice rising, she pulls out a list. Emma's jaw dropped. What kind of medieval sorcery is that? She reached into a drawer like it was a magic hat, and pulled out my personal horror scroll. Pink. Floral. Smug. I reached into my bag and tossed the folded sheet on the table. I couldn't sleep that night. I read it so many times, it's burned into my brain. My friends leaned over to read. I watched their faces twist with each line. Here's what it said. 1. Lose 10 pounds before the wedding. No exceptions. 2. Agree with your mother-in-law. Always. 3. Get a proper job. Hobbies are not working. 4. Handle all housework. Without complaining. 5. Clean my house every weekend. Bathrooms included. 6. I will choose the baby's name. No discussion. 7. Cut contact with all men except your husband. Even at work. 8. Give me a key to your home. I need full access. 9. Keep your phone's location on at all times. 10. Do not argue with me. I am always right. Emma leaned back slowly. That woman is 2 pearls away from full-blown dictatorship. Sasha looked at me. So, what did you do? Did you tell Dylan? No. I didn't want to crush him. Not yet. But I knew I had to wake him up from the syrupy pink fog Elon's got him in. You didn't. Oh, I did. I decided to follow the rules. Every single one. With my own interpretation. You're going to play her game? Exactly. I start next weekend. With item number 5. Sasha grabbed it and read aloud. Clean my house every weekend. Bathrooms included. Oh, I'm going, I said, already feeling that fire in my chest. But the cleaning won't be quite what she expects. It was Saturday morning. Sun shining, birds chirping, my revenge plan locked and loaded. I had Dylan's spare key from Elon's house. I arrived at 10 a.m. in full cleaning mode. Rubber gloves. A tote bag filled with goodies. A fresh can of ultra-strong jasmine air freshener. And a single red sock. Let the games begin. Step 1, laundry. I found her perfectly folded white sheets, Egyptian cotton, monogrammed, and casually tossed them into the washer with the red sock I'd brought for this very mission. The cycle began. I grinned. Step 2, scent domination. I sprayed jasmine air freshener in every corner of every room. 2 spritzes in the bathroom. 3 in the hallway. 1 on the welcome mat, because first impressions matter. Step 3, the rearrangement. I moved her ceramic angel collection from the fireplace mantel to the kitchen counter. The TV remote went into the wardrobe. Her favorite slippers. Her family is forever wooden sign. Hung upside down. And then came the Cupid. That little bronze nightmare glared at me from the garden, as if daring me. I wrapped him gently in a towel and carried him to, I'll tell you later. By noon, the house was spotless. But it no longer screamed Elon. It screamed new management. I closed the door behind me and practically skipped home. The next morning, just as I was tying my sneakers to head out, someone started pounding on my door. I opened it. Elon stood there, wild-eyed, hair slightly askew, holding a pink bedsheet like it was a crime scene photo. You turned my entire house into a scented circus, she yelled. Everything smells like cheap perfume. My shirts are pink. And where's my Cupid? I blinked innocently. Oh, good morning. I think you are fond of pink. Don't good morning me. I want everything back the way it was. Now. Oh, sorry. Can't. She stared at me. I'm late for the gym, I said casually, tying my shoelace tighter. Punked number 1 on your list, remember? Lose 10 pounds before the wedding. Her mouth opened. Closed. Opened again. And the statue, she hissed. Oh, I thought it's trash. So I hired guys to get it out. How dare you? Just then, Dylan appeared behind me, rubbing his eyes. Mom? Why are you yelling? Ask her. Elon said, spinning toward him. She sabotaged my home. She poisoned the air. And she threw out Cupid. Dylan blinked. Cupid? My statue. My precious little bronze guardian. Cupid's not gone. He's just enjoying a quiet retirement in the garage. I thought he deserved a break from all that pollen. I just followed the rules, I said sweetly, pulling the crumpled pink paper from my bag and handing it to Dylan. His eyes moved line by line. Mom, what is this? A helpful guide. To support her. To prepare her for a life with you. With me or with you? I grabbed my gym bag and smiled. Anyway, I really have to run. Zumba waits for no one. Elon's nostrils flared. I looked over my shoulder with one last, sugar-sweet nod. Don't worry. I'm taking your list very seriously. You might want to start your own. Just before I reached the door, Dylan turned to his mother. Mom, we really need to talk. And this time, I need you to listen. I stepped outside, letting the door click softly behind me, and left my future Emile standing face to face with her sin, the man I loved, finally ready to draw his own lines. Write in the comments what you think about this story and subscribe to our channel D-Damn Mix.